What's up, everybody? My name is Ben Nelson, and welcome to my channel. So it's going to be an exciting 2020 for me, and I wanted to document my whole experience. This is something I've spent about 3 years planning and wishing and dreaming, and something that I wanted to accomplish, and I'm finally going to make it happen. So let me give you a few details about myself before I tell you my plans of 2020. And also, we're in Toronto, Canada right now. We will get to see some cool experiences, some cool sculptures, some stuff like that. And, Canadian stuff. I'm in a gas station right now, and the gas is the most confusing way to pay. Being from the States, you go by gallons, and they go by liters here. So I put in 40 Canadian dollars, and it didn't even fill my tank up. And when I'm in the States, $20 fills up everything. So it's going to be a fun experience. But let me give you some details about myself. My name is Ben Nelson. I'm from Syracuse, New York. I went to college back in about 2016 for about 3 weeks, and I realized how awful it was. One of the professors, the first class, he told everybody that you don't even need this degree to be accomplished in this field. And me, I'm expected to have a following, but it could be great, it could be awesome, but it didn't. And that really had me thinking, why am I here? Why am I spending this money? Why am I not living? Why am I going to be spending the next 4 or 5 years to get a degree that I might not even use? So it really made me question everything. So when I was going through the process of dropping out of college, I knew I had accomplished something. So when I was in the process of dropping out, I wanted to write down all the traits that I liked. I love traveling. I love communicating with people, and I just love experiencing things. So after some time going through everything, I found hairdressing. And for me, I didn't want to do women's hair, so I more specialized in barbering and cutting guys' hair, and it brought me some amazing routes. I've already cut hair in England, Ireland, and the Netherlands, and I always wanted to take that one step up. So my 2020 goal is I want to cut hair and visit as many U.S. states as I can, and I'm also going to be in Europe for the summer too. So I'll tell you the goals that I have. Number one, I want to visit every NHL stadium because hockey is a big part in my life. I started playing it when I was 4, and it just kind of became an obsession to me. And then 2, I want to do all Canadian provinces and 50 states. I want to visit them all, check them off the list. And my number 3, which is slim to impossible, but I'm going to do as much as I can to get it done, is I want to do every country in the world. And it's a hard task. There's lots of countries that it's very hard to travel to right now, but it's something that I really see myself being able to accomplish. So my big goal for that is visit every country in 3 years from now. So I'm going to be documenting every step of the way. Right now, the trip's going to start off with, I'm in Toronto right now. I'll be in Detroit tonight. I'll be there until Tuesday. And then I'll be heading over to Chicago. And then after Chicago, I'll be doing St. Louis. And then I'll finally end up in Oklahoma City, which I will be cutting hair in for about 2 months. And in this process, I'm going to be doing a bunch of road trips through Texas, and I also have one planned to California. So I'll be doing Houston, Austin, San Antonio, New Orleans, and then I'll also be doing Albuquerque, Phoenix, San Diego, Anaheim, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, San Jose, Denver. I'll be doing a lot of big cities throughout the U.S. And I'm going to be documenting the whole thing. So make sure to follow my channel, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and I'm going to leave this gas station because it's been about 20 minutes of me trying to record this intro, and let's get to Toronto. It's always fun walking around cities, especially since if you've never been there before, and just seeing the similarities between other cities that you've been to. Right now, walking around, there's so much construction and potholes and traffic in Toronto. It makes me feel like I'm in New York, but everything's just slightly different when you're in a different country, from attitudes to money. It's always fun. The money here, it feels like it's monopoly money, which is incredible. It's like winning the lottery. You give them $100 American and you get like 140 back, which is amazing. So it makes me feel like I have more money than I really have. So I made it to the Toronto sign. Got a few good pictures, good videos. So my next step is there's a place called Graffiti Alley. It's supposed to have all these really cool graffiti things, and one of the things I really love is graffiti. So hopefully I'll be able to find it, because apparently I went over my international data speed, and it's tethering it, which is always fun, because it takes about 20 hours to load something that should take 8 seconds, which is not always fun. And I've reached my 0.5 limit, as you can kind of see right there, at 4 o'clock in the morning. So that means I have to spend the rest of the day with GPS that doesn't really work. And also I have to go to Detroit, which is always fun. So it's fun when the high speed data does not work. It's kind of loading. Pulled it up, which is pretty good. Looks like I just have to walk down Queen Street, which I think we're on. Let's walk and try and see if I can, because I want to get some cool Instagram photos through that, which is always fun too, because I have to set up the tripod and make awkward poses. And alright, so we're about 15 minutes away, so let's get this walk going. I don't think I've ever seen more Canadian Goose jackets in my life. So on my way to Graffiti Alley, I'm about 10 minutes away, as you can see. I stumbled upon this cool alley that has some pretty cool graffiti to it, which it's definitely tagged up, and it's definitely a part of the culture, which is pretty cool. Let me flip it around. So it's nothing too cool, but I think I like how this restaurant tagged it. I don't even know what the restaurant's in the building, so it might be that. So on my way to Graffiti Alley, I found this random Alley beforehand, which has all this gorgeous graffiti. And one thing about me is I love graffiti. Everywhere I go, I try and find places that are tagged, places that have beautiful artwork. When I was in London, it was everywhere. So I'm finding the same similarities in Toronto, which is pretty cool. But here it is. I find it amazing, and but super sketchy usually the places. This is covered in trash, and I'm in a random back alley, so definitely should start making my way to the Graffiti Ally. So I'm walking down the street now, and I almost got hit by another car. There's so much food, it's ridiculous, and I'm starving. Like literally, like every kind of food spot you can think of, they have here. Chipotle and sushi and gyros or gyros or whatever they call it. So one of those things where I've got about an hour left in my parking to really figure out what I want to eat, because it's getting to be about 4 o'clock right now, and I have a 4-hour drive to Detroit after this, which is always exciting. But the drive yesterday was pretty quick. It was 5 hours from Syracuse, and I went over the border in like 10 seconds, which is amazing, because usually every single time I go across the border they search my car, which is incredible. I've gotten like 140 looks right now for having this camera, so it's always exciting. Makes me feel more important than I really am, though. I feel like I'm whispering though, because I have my noise canceling headphones on, and trying not to yell in the middle of the street, but I can also try and pretend like I'm talking to someone. So it's super cold, walking around right now. There's so much stuff on the street. The one thing I keep on thinking of is I forgot where I parked my car. So that should definitely be really fun in the long scope. I finally got the Graffiti Ally, which is sick. Looks like there's a ton of people there. Gotta figure out. Tripped over, guys. Helicopter plane is so loud. Toronto's really cool though. It feels like it's got a lot of history to it, and like New York City, but Canadian. I feel like it's a law that they have to play either Drake or The Weeknd, because every street I've gone down is playing The Weeknd or Drake or some sort of Canadian pop star. This lighting makes me like obese. I gotta lay off the cheeseburgers. Ooh, we got 6 seconds. Let's get hit by a car. Alright, I didn't get hit by a car, which is great. Alright, finally across the street. They have so much fabric. I don't even, like, what could you make with all that? Hey, it's my girlfriend. She's just at work right now. I can't disturb her. A workout holding this camera like this. Two things I've noticed on the street. It's either things I can't afford or things I can't afford. It's a bougie weed store. Oop. There's my girlfriend again. She's busy at work, so I shouldn't disturb her. Cool, so I'm finally getting down Graffiti Alley.
And then we'll grab just like a quick
It's like literally, I love this stuff. But it sucks because there's like 100 fucking cars. And there's like all these boxes in it. So, trying to find something cool to get some Instagram shots or whatever. It's trying to get hit. This is cool. I'm gonna try and get some Instagram shots right now without getting hit by a car, which hopefully I don't, but that insurance money would be sick. Alright, I'm gonna set up right now. Yeah, walking around here, you can definitely tell it's Graffiti Alley. Not just because obviously the graffiti on the wall, but spray paint. Jesus, I can get high from that. It's beautiful artwork. It's something that definitely takes a lot of talent, and oh, you can for sure smell that. It's spray paint. The artwork here is just absolutely gorgeous. But walking down the street, it's like you get high from two things: the legal Canadian weed and then the graffiti, the spray paint that they've used. They definitely someone just did something. I didn't realize how popular this thing is, but it's getting to be about 5 o'clock now, so I'm gonna start pretending to make my way towards the car because I forgot where I parked in a city I don't know. I know it's vaguely near the Toronto sign, so I'm gonna try and pull up on my GPS right now where the Toronto sign is. But so I had a short time here in Toronto. It definitely was a really fun trip. Last night I went to Rebel, which is actually North America's largest nightclub. It was really cool because I got to see Lil Jon perform. He dropped the microphone on my head and then he looked at me very weird. And I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of stood there, and then he looked at me and he said, grab the mic. And I thought he was trying to tell me to start rapping, and I was like, I don't do that. But he actually just dropped the microphone. So that was always exciting. This dude was ridiculous. He played about a 2.5 hour long set, which is super long for any set. I don't think even people that I pay a ridiculous amount of money to, I pay $15 to go see, and I made a lot of memories from it. One thing I really don't get is, so at the end of the night I'm standing in the back, like by the bar area, and I'm probably a good 40 feet of space behind me, and yet there was 14 million people bumping into me, and there was solid 20 feet. Sorry, I'm taking pictures. Solid 20 feet behind me, and I just didn't understand why everybody was bumping into me. But it was definitely something that was a fun experience, and Rebel was definitely up to the hype. It's huge, and it's the coolest part about it was if you went in the back area, they're right on the lake or whatever. I think it's a lake. It's not an ocean or a sea. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's a lake. I think it's Ontario Lake. And get hit by a car. Cool, I survived. But I lost my train of thought. Oh, so if you went in the back area, they're right on the lake. So if you look across the deck area they have, it's the whole skyline of Toronto. At night, it's just absolutely gorgeous because you got the CN Tower that lights up and glows. People keep staring at me. But really something that's cool. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring my camera into the club, so I had to do it with my phone. But by the time I got to the back after Lil Jon set, I was told that I have to stay in the main room, and I couldn't go back to the front room. I mean the back room. I mean, it depends on what way you look at it. But regardless, you still had to go to the main room. So, I got a new Tinder like. Nice. It's probably a fake account. I find that for some weird reason, like regardless of where it's like a girl that's like 28,000 miles away that's like likes you, and it's like some super blurry image. But since, like I said before, I can't use my high-speed internet because at 4 in the morning I use on my internet. But I'm all set if you can't find my car because I have my phone. I think I have my keys somewhere. Hopefully, because that, or I'm gonna get stuck in Toronto. And then Pringles, and then I have Powerade. It's pretty funny because I have it on top of, I don't even know where my car is. It's always a great start to the day. Oh, they're there. Oof. They're under the Pringle cans. I think I'm walking the right direction, hopefully, because if I'm not, I'm going to be really lost. I'm so excited for the pictures for the graffiti. I took some really cool ones, and definitely make sure to follow me on my Instagram. I am Ben Nelson, and that will show you all my pictures I take on all my journeys. I have about 20 US cities, and I'm hoping to knock off all 44 European countries by the end of the year. Thank you everybody for watching my Toronto vlog. I just arrived in Detroit right now. Everybody, make sure to tune in next week for my Detroit episode, and then the week after will be Chicago, and the week after that will be St. Louis. So make sure to watch, subscribe below, and pray for me, because this hotel I'm at is probably the shadiest one, but it was $100 for 2 nights. Can't complain. See you next week.